new recordings. That way you don't have to go back and try to find the spot that we made the decision on who's doing what. I'll post it as a separate video. Okay. So talk to me about the different, I know we've already talked about theater style. Do you need some help?
Yeah, but I didn't know you had a class, so.
Oh yeah, I'm in class until about 1:30.
Yeah, I got your next class.
Oh,
I
at
just
2?
wanted to talk to you.
Okay, sounds good. We'll probably be done in the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm not going
Okay.
to, I'll be back.
Cool. So we have theater style. What else?
Classroom style,
Classroom.
banquet. Will banquet fall under there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I
Banquet.
can't remember what it's called, like the U.
That's
It's called U-shape.
Okay.
This is,
I was like,
it's considered classroom
I
style.
don't remember what the U-shape one is called. It's called U-shape. It's very creative.
Yeah, short.
That's what we
Short
did, so
course.
of course, yeah.
Had
It's
this.
very, very creative. U-shape. Okay, what else? I think there's a page in there that has all of them listed, like in one diagram. I remember correctly.
Banquet.
Yeah.
Banquet style.
there is a one. Which is like the U shape,
Maybe not.
but the head table was connected to both legs. Hollow.
That's theater. Oh, here we go. So let's look at
Okay.
these.
V-shape.
Okay, so we have U-shape. Well, it's horseshoe is U-shape.
Okay.
You said V-shape.
Mhm.
Yes, V-shape,
Perpendicular.
perpendicular, and then we
Oh
got
my goodness.
crescent, round.
Okay, so crescents.
Straight,
Okay.
that's like theater. Right?
What's that?
Straight.
With no tables?
It looks like it has tables.
Looks like it has tables.
That's
It looks like
classroom.
it- That's what I was thinking.
So a classroom would
Hollow
also
square?
kind of be like this.
Yep,
so
hollow
that-
square.
It'd be more like this.
Circular?
Classroom would be more like this one.
Octagonal. Angle
straight-
hollow.
So these table setups are used for certain type
That
of.
one's almost
Certain
something
types
like
of
a
meeting,
classroom,
yeah.
whether
What's
it's-
But where do we
Different.
see
Exactly, specifically.
Yes,
exactly.
So you're gonna
And
say
this
the
is
table
exactly
setup,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
way
but you're
too.
gonna say
So-
what types of meetings is it
Your
good for
classroom
versus
is gonna be
not
like
good
your
for.
setups right here.
Yeah.
Right.
This be your classroom.
What?
Then the AHA lunch.
Octagon, we're not gonna worry about that one.
Yeah,
What about the angled hollow?
they were more. banquet.
No,
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
E,
kinda
the
sorta,
T
yeah.
shape?
but this is.
we'll put that with, how about we just do shapes?
Can I do the U and the horseshoe, like, is that separate or would it count as both?
Yeah, so I'm thinking U-shape is the horseshoe, right? So I'm thinking hollow square and U-shape will go together. Because it's basically have one that's open and one that's closed. Okay,
What about banquet and crescent?
yep, we'll put banquet and crescent together.
So I can just put banquet / crescent?
Uh-huh. I'm not gonna do V-shape because I mean it's very odd. And the E shape that's in there, the perpendicular,
Yeah,
right? I mean they do have very specific purposes. But in all the years that I have been doing events, I have never seen
They're
an
not as
E-shape,
common.
room setup.
So they're not as common.
No. So I'm gonna do boardroom. I think boardroom is one on, well, I think it's on the one you have right there.
472.
What's that?
It's on 472.
Okay. And what else is on 472?
Pot and eyebrow pattern.
Okay.
the boardroom, is that the one where it's the big table in the middle and the
Uh-huh.
chairs? Okay,
Yep.
okay.
See everyone's face.
So Michael, you said you want the U shape and hollow square?
Yes,
Okay.
but what event with that? So that's what I'm a little confused at.
That's what you're gonna read about and you're gonna research.
Oh, so what events those would be appropriate
Uh-huh.
for? Okay.
And I'll do banquet and crescent.
Okay. Is that right?
Yes.
Anything else besides theater, classroom, and boardroom?
And tell me the classroom.
I'll do classroom style.
I'm gonna add one, it's called pre-function.
Students are doing.
All right, Ruth and Chris, you've got theater, pre-function, and boardroom. Which one do you would like? Or we can do random.
I'll do random.
Random,
mind.
okay, Ruth,
We'll do random as well.
okay,
We'll draw.
Uh-huh.
sounds good, here we go.
I don't.
You know, this is the way he said Ruth and Chris. So it made me think of the steakhouse.
Oh, with Chris Steakhouse.
When you said that, you said Ruth Chris, I was
Steakhouse.
like, my mind went to the steakhouse.
You're just sitting over there like.
That's my brother's name. My sister, the first time she saw one, when she came back from her trip, she was like, hey. So I'm like, ooh, is that our steakhouse? I was like, why haven't we seen any money?
You should. It's expensive they are.
Oh,
I've never been there.
Been a while.
Me
Been a
and
while.
Sarah went and we spent $200,
Yeah, it's not
we spent over $200.
All right.
It's
Got
a
it.
really cute bag, Mr. Mansky.
I mean, I went to a brunch place and spent like $100 with me, my husband, and my kids.
I know. I got the ribeye. And that was,
Function.
Okay.
I got the ribeye. The
Boardroom.
ribeye was like
Nice.
$70,
And you
$80.
know what room I got?
What?
Theater style. I've already done that presentation.
Resize.
The stars have aligned. So Mr. Uminski, pre-function is Ruth,
Yes.
okay, and boardroom is Chris.
That's a nice one.
Okay, so pre-function, Ruth, pre-function, you want to think about the function is in the big room. Pre-function is the space usually immediately outside, like where registration takes place. Maybe you have like a cocktail hour. So think about like when we were at THLA where registration table is, that whole area is pre-function.
I was also thinking about the Pineapple Awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pineapple Awards, exactly. We had the pre-function in the lobby, and then the event area happened inside, exactly.
And that
Yep.
was, that one was banquet style.
Yes, the Pineapple Awards was banquet style. And then the cocktail hour before was pre-function space.
Now, could I also do that with banquet?
Yeah,
Me-
banquet and crescent.
Cause me, I'm thinking more banquet, wedding.
Yeah,
And you're gonna have your wedding party right up here and then the rest. So could I have a cocktail hour too?
no, you're only focusing on banquet and crescent setup.
Okay,
That's it. Okay.
all right.
Now, if you think about, hold on one second, I see your hand.
Okay.
When you think about crescent style, okay, when you're doing banquet, you want to think about, we have 60-inch rounds, we have 72-inch rounds, okay? 60-inch rounds, 8 people, no more, okay? 72-inch, 10 people, no more. You might read, oh, you can put 12 people around a 72-inch. You can put 10 people around a 60-inch. No, you can't. You can, but you shouldn't.
Tight.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. And so 8 to 10 max with those. Crescents is how I typically have my classroom set up, and when I have it upstairs in the 400s, where I have only 5 seats per,
Okay,
right? So then this area is left empty, which means what?
Everyone can see.
So
Nobody's back is to the presentation, right? So that's a pro, everyone can see. A con is you have to have more tables.
tables.
If you have 60 people, right? If you have 60 people, you can have 8 tables that have 8 people around it for 64. But if you do crescent, you have to have 10 tables because 6 per
And then,
you know, and then you're like, okay, do I have enough space for 10
yeah, I was about to
tables?
say, you need to think of the room.
Exactly. So think about all that kind of stuff. Yes, Leah.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask, like, so when it comes to like the exam and stuff, you know, how we have like these different names, you know, how there's some that are from the book and then
Uh-huh.
others you know, so we'd have to know like the book name per se.
Right.
Most importantly.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
didn't
you're
know. if
gonna
there-
you're gonna be focused on classroom style.
Uh-huh.
So definitely a pro, just like you have, think about when you go to a class, you have a table you can write stuff on, right? In this room, we have 40 seats. If I wanted to put 50 in this room, I'd have to find room for more tables. There's not a lot of room for more tables. So oftentimes one of the cons is that it limits the number of people you can put in a room because the tables take up so much space.
Right,
But the pro is if there's a presentation that people need to take notes, and they have a table available for them.
right.
And another one is that everyone's facing the front. It's not like a round table where some people are facing other directions. Everyone's facing the front, so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, comments, concerns? So your presentation rough drafts will still be due on the 6th of February. That'll give me a week or so, a couple of days to review the draft and give you any feedback, and then you can change it for your final presentation on the 13th of February.
Okay.
Okay. Your presentation, 5 to 6 minutes. Does not have to be anything long and drawn out. Okay. Be straight to the point. So yeah.
I did have one other question. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was also thinking about something for classroom. You know how like in bigger universities, you know, there is, you know, it's not necessarily a theater style, but it's more like classrooms are in big, I don't know what you,
Auditorium.
auditorium.
Yeah.
So you're thinking of the one that's on the second floor? The
We
second
have one
floor?
in here. It's just on the second
The
floor.
second floor or even in bigger
Oh, yeah,
universities, they're
even bigger,
big.
like 300-400
Can it still
people.
count as classroom style? I just wanted to know about that.
Yeah, I mean, that is more of gonna be like more of a theater style.
Okay.
That has the small table in front. But I would say, yeah, you can still count that as a classroom. What we're thinking about in this particular situation is think about upstairs in the 400 rooms, okay? Upstairs in the 400 rooms, it's a blank canvas. We have to bring in tables and chairs. In that situation, there's already tables and chairs built in.
Okay.
So in this case, when we're talking about events, we're talking about bringing in tables and chairs into a room that is empty. And so what different room setups are conducive for different types of meetings that happen?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I used to be a houseman and we would set up for events and the room was so big that they had walls that would come out so we could make rooms.
Exactly. They have the air walls that come in, yep,
Yeah, I remember.
exactly. Yep.
I think we went to an event and they did that. I went with you with your other class, and I think Freeman was doing a setup for at the convention. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, they had one of the rooms and they removed all the air walls to make it one big.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, now presentation. I'm used to Mr. Bacone when he tells us to come present. Dress professional. Is that what you want?
I would prefer that, yep,
Okay.
yep. I would prefer that. Think field trip attire.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be like a suit and tie, but you can be like a polo and khakis or, you know, I mean, most of y'all are, with the exception of t-shirts, most of y'all are like Ruth's dressed appropriately to present, I think.
So,
Yeah, but
She
you're
might
night
fall
audit.
asleep. She might fall asleep up there.
Night audit gets away with a lot of things with their uniform.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm supposed to have a uniform. This is what I have. It's just my own clothes.
Yeah, like I said, night audit gets away with a lot of stuff.
Because they were talking about this morning how
You're welcome.
Marriott sends like secret shoppers
Yeah,
into
uh-huh.
their hotels.
Yep.
And so like courtyards all have to look exactly the same.